Kia ora, hello, I'm Philip Duncan. It is Wednesday, the 20th of August. Thank you for joining me as we take a look at the weather coming up to the weekend and into next week. High pressure is the main feature at the moment. It is coming in over the Tasman Sea, but I wanted to show you the big picture one. Look at all the thunderstorms up around Papua New Guinea at the moment and up and towards the tropical areas. Thunderstorms around Australia, another cold front coming into Western Australia. But in New Zealand, things are pretty quiet at the moment. Here's a closer view. Not a lot of cloud around today compared to the last couple of days. Still cloudy though in some eastern areas, particularly around the eastern side of the North Island and around Northland, where a few showers still remain, and obviously very windy through Wellington. Gale force southerlies there gusting up to 100 kilometres an hour. But look at the air pressure today being highlighted. So you're seeing some bigger numbers here. 1020s is a sign of high pressure coming in. So the higher the air pressure goes, the less likely we are to have severe weather. And that's pretty much what we're seeing coming in for the next couple of days. Big high pressure zone out of Australia drifting in, windy southerlies in some places, especially around Cook Strait, Wellington, southern Waited Upper, and along the eastern side of the North Island, still being clipped by that cold polar airflow. And as the high comes in and the skies clear up for many places, we have lower temperatures at night time. So frosty weather is on the way. So here is the frost map for Thursday. You can still see that breeze in some areas, meaning while it's still a cold night, maybe not frosty in southern and eastern areas. And the North Island does see frost, especially around the Waikato region and the Central Plateau. And as we go through to Friday, as that high comes in over us, the winds die out, and so the cold sinks, spreads out. We see more frosty weather into both of the main islands. So noon Thursday, yep, still cold along the eastern side where that breeze is still blowing. Might be an isolated shower around Canterbury, but it's mainly dry. Most of the showers still remain around northern Hawke's Bay, Mahia Peninsula, and further up towards East Cape. And that airflow being more south to southeast means it's sunny around Waikato, Bay of Plenty, Auckland, and a number of northern areas, just like it is for the top of the South Island and along the west coast as well. Although high pressure can drag in some cloud, that is possible. But look at Friday's setup. Cold air still remains over the North Island, the southerly flow still pushing that cold air around. But as the high rolls in, while it locks in the cold nights, during daytime, the very slight westerly flow will start to be felt in the lower part of the nation. So we've still got frosts in the mornings, but the afternoons will be quite pleasant around the South Island as we go into the weekend. In fact, the temperatures do start to lift up a little bit by day, maybe not by night for everybody. Frosty weather here going right up possibly into the Auckland region on Saturday. So there's still a pool of cold air stuck over the top of the country. The high kind of comes in and keeps everything where it is. So light winds, a couple of showers here and there, but really not a lot. You might actually notice a slight lift in the temperatures overnight around the top of New Zealand as that easterly comes through with a few showers on Saturday and here on Sunday as well, although it's not a warm easterly. Often easterlies aren't very warm. The cold air is still stuck out here because there's been nothing big to flush it away yet. No big tropical airflow to push the southerly polar air that's been stuck over us. So it stays with us through into the weekend. Frosty conditions here and there. Obviously though, with a few showers and a northeast breeze at the top of the country and a very light westerly at the very southern end of the country, that does put a little bit of a limit on how far those frosts will spread out. So we go into next week. Apart from a couple of showers with the east to northeasterly flow, which might be a bit more northwesterly through central areas. So temperatures by day might still go up another degree or two as we go into next week, but pretty much high pressure dominates New Zealand. But what you notice here on Monday, the polar airflow is out over the Chatham Islands, but it's not over the mainland or the North Island. And by Tuesday, again, colder airflows further out to the east and just brushing parts of Stewart Island, maybe Southland, but really most of the country starting to get a warmer airflow. This is the subtropical one we're looking for to help flush away the colder airflows. That should do it as we go into next week. But it's pretty messy further to the west. We've got low pressure in the Tasman Sea. We've got low pressure south of Australia and obviously low pressure down around Antarctica. So a big pool of low pressure in here. That's a high over Queensland, should have an H in it, but that is coming in there. So a bit of a low pressure system in between the high that's leaving us and the next one that's out over Queensland. That could drive in some wet weather and some windier weather next week. But for now, this is a pretty dry week. And based on rainfall already this month, a number of regions have below normal rainfall. So August is balancing perhaps some of the very wet weather we had at the start of the season. That's all from me for today. Back again tomorrow, Thursday, as we take a closer look at the upcoming weekend. I'll see you then.